Yo, what it do, GG Nation, GG Legion, your fellow against Strauss Man, the GG. Welcome to another video. And it's been a little over a week since the Game Awards has happened. But Lou and I wanted to talk about it a little bit, just our honest thoughts about the whole thing, what we liked, what we didn't like, what you guys like, and hopefully what you guys truly liked, maybe didn't like so much about it. But of course, I'm your fellow Straussman, the GG, and I got your boy, the tribal chief himself. Skip to my Lou. How you doing, Lou?
Good, good. Thank you for having me on.
No worries, friend. This is it was actually quite the eventful night. You know, I kind of had low expectations for the Game Awards 2022. I felt like a lot of stuff was like leaked or was getting a little too hyped up on Twitter, or they kind of gave it away already, like Jeff and Kojima stuff. But
Yeah.
but I was
Oh, no,
pleasantly
Doritos.
yeah, no Raiders, yeah. I was pleasantly surprised about this. You know, we did our own prediction show and we hit on some stuff, we missed on some stuff, but I was pleasantly surprised about the show and what they had there. They had a bunch of announcements. You know, I typed them all out. We're not gonna go through every single one. I just it was just for us to kind of get a refresher to see.
Yeah.
But what did you think overall of the Game Awards 2022?
I thought the show was excellent, to be quite honest. I didn't have high expectations going in.
Yeah.
I know there was, and the only reason I didn't have high expectations is some of it was leaked already,
Mm,
and I was kind of like, well, this is probably the main stuff that we're gonna see. But he actually brought some other stuff there that I really enjoyed. Just looking at the list, like I remember Judas, that looked pretty good.
yeah, the
Um,
creator of Bioshock. I actually thought this was like Bioshock 4 because it looks
Yeah.
so much like Bioshock, but
Yeah,
like
they
in
had
space.
they had unfortunately Crash was rumored to be there, and
Yeah, we already
uh,
knew that. But I don't think
yeah,
we thought of that game though. I
no,
wasn't
no, but
thinking. I was thinking Crash 5 or something.
yeah, and then we got a nice Hades 2. I didn't hear anything about that. I don't know if you did,
No,
but
I
Hades
didn't. I
2
didn't
being
either. I
there,
didn't even think that was on the table.
yeah, like they
Well,
had some
because
real good surprises.
was that 2 years ago it was nominated?
Yeah, it was 2 years ago.
Okay, so they had plenty of time. Nice under the radar move on that one for sure.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I mean, it was a really good show overall. Unfortunately, a lot of it was leaked, so it would have been an even better show on hindsight. And I'm pretty sure those that don't follow the leaks really like the show.
Yeah,
Probably one of the best shows he's had in a long time.
yeah,
Maybe one of the best shows we've had since pre-pandemic overall.
yeah.
With so I would give it an A. I thought he did a
Oh,
good job.
that seemed to be the consensus. Exactly what you said. You know that a lot of people really enjoyed the show. They thought it was very good. And overall, if you look at the content, I could kind of show you the list really quick. I mean, he had a lot of announcements, and yes, some of them were leaked, but they were still big moments. You know, Death Stranding 2 was a big moment still. You know,
Yeah.
we talked about it in our prediction show. You know, I thought that was a given because of all the hype and everything. But the trailer was excellent. It had a big reception there. They rolled out the red carpet for Kojima like they always do. You know, they had they had a quick pace to the awards, and I know it sucks for some of the award winners. They don't get to talk too much or have a victory speech too much, but because they rattle off like 5 awards at a time, 6 awards at a time. And sometimes that's a good case, and like with Christopher Judge, which was awesome, to see him win. What was some of your highlights of the Game Awards? Anything, just not game announcements, anything. What was some of your highlights to it?
Death Stranding 2 being there. I know I predicted it. I didn't
You
see
did?
any rumors that it would be there, but I thought Death Stranding 2 being there. Hades 2 is one. The Suicide Squad video is cool.
Yeah, Kevin Conroy's last voice role too.
Yeah. We saw some of the PlayStation games get a port to PC. I thought that was pretty cool. Um, the other thing,
a lot of
yeah,
PlayStation and Nintendo here. Not a lot of
yeah,
Microsoft. I was kind of shocked by that. I thought Microsoft would have more of a presence here, but there wasn't much, really, at all.
you know, to really think about this is, it was a award show,
Mm-hmm.
and to be quite honest, he kind of rushed through some of those awards
He
because
did.
he had so much content to show.
Yes.
So I really appreciated that. I mean, obviously it is an award show, and you want to
Yeah.
make way for awards. You want to show appreciation for the event. But going out there and showing, I mean, this list is just it's a really good list. The PS5 only, Horizon, DLC,
Yeah. Big
Armor
shocking news on
Core.
that one too.
Yeah, Armor Core was there.
That was
Remnant
big.
2. I mean, he really did a great job here.
Yeah.
Really good job.
One of my favorite moments was it Al Pacino? Who was it that who was it they brought on stage? The famous guy.
I think it was, I forgot who it was, but the guy that said he couldn't read the
That was like
teleprompter.
one of my favorite moments where he's just like, I'm fucking here. I got paid money and I don't like video games.
That's how the award show opened up with him and Judge.
Yes.
It was like,
Oh.
and Judge went off for like 10 minutes.
Mhm.
Just, I like to thank the world, and, it tells this whole story, and it's like, oh my god.
You can tell that really meant a lot to him. So I don't want to shit on him for that because
No, no.
It really did. But I mean, you, me, and shout out to a friend of the show, Prandy. We were watching this, and like Prandy goes off to go to the bathroom. He comes back. He's like, "He's still going?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like, holy shit! Like, he's still going. But good for him. That was awesome. That was a cool ass moment. Death Stranding was definitely a big highlight for me. I'm a big fan of Kojima. I know a lot of people don't like Kojima or Miyazaki because they're popular. Soul series and Metal Gear, obviously, big popular series Kojima's done for a long time. But I really liked Death Stranding, and I liked how unique it was. JJ and I did a spoiler cast in 2019. Thought it was a really excellent, well-told game. The thing about a lot of people feel like Kojima stuff doesn't make sense, but in the end it does. If you stick it out and you gut it and you play the game, it all makes sense. And it sounds crazy at first, but it all really wraps up. And this trailer really was very long. It was like a 7-minute trailer, and they showed a lot of characters and semi-spoilers for the original game. If you guys haven't played that, if you have PlayStation Plus Extra, I highly suggest you go play Death Stranding over the holiday. It is really unique PlayStation experience and an awesome game, and it's in a lot of ways very Metal Gear still. Obviously, it's Kojima,
Yeah.
That was big. I think the Horizon DLC looked really awesome. That was a big highlight for me. Judge winning, best voice actor. I think that was really cool as well. I was very stoked for Diablo 4. Jedi Survivor looked really good. That looked really, really good. They brought him out. He looks a lot older. It looks like there's a big time skip in this game.
Yeah, and shout out for you, man. You called the Tekken 8 one on
Yeah.
the show.
I
That's
was
a good
excited.
that's a good one right there.
I was excited. Tekken and Street Fighter look so good. I
Yeah.
was blown away by those. Some PlayStation games got the crossover, to PC, which is smart. I think that's really good. I'm trying to think of another one that was
Whatchamacallit, Armor Core 6.
that was a big
That was
surprise. Details came out of that game as well. It is not a Souls game, so people can relax a little bit. It's going to be mission based, single player. Sekiro team's doing it. It also will have multiplayer functionality, but it's going to be a strong mission based game, kind of like the older Armor Cores, but we'll have kind of a story. The Sekiro team, I don't think Miyazaki's helming it. He's going to probably be doing more Elden Ring DLC. which this is really cool. This is really cool. Armored Core, I know a lot of people were worried, like, oh no, Souls robots, right? But if you are not an Armored Core fan, if you don't remember the PS1, PS2 days, when I first got my PS2, I remember all my friends and I, we all talked about Armored Core 2. You know, I rented it from Blockbuster, and I'm like, man, this game is sick. It's like, this is the Gundam game I wanted. Like, Gundam Wing was like a big popular anime at the time on Toonami when we were that age, around 5th, 6th grade. And I was blown away. I was like, this is the Gundam, because there wasn't really any there's like a shit ton of Gundam games now, but back then there wasn't really any that we had here in America, especially. So it was really cool to kind of just have a really cool, awesome mech game that you could customize your robot. You can give them like a laser sword and all these missile attachments and laser guns. It was really cool. I'm interested to see how much they add to that and evolve the formula, because let's be honest, Armored Core hasn't really, it's been dead in the water for a long time. Armored Core 5 actually kind of killed the franchise. I'm actually shocked. You know, we've heard rumors of Armored Core coming back, but I wasn't expecting to see it here at all.
Yeah.
I was expecting to see some Elden Ring DLC or something like that, but that was a big announcement. And Jeff seemed really excited. You know, and you know, that's probably some of the highlights for me was Jeff's excitement for the Game Awards. He really, truly was excited to have a lot of these announcements, and I think he put on a pretty damn good show. Was there any lowlights to you at all, Lou?
I mean, and it's not his fault, obviously, but you know, probably the stuff that was leaked already, that was gonna be there. I mean, not the quality. Like Star Wars was leaked and it looked really good. That it was, but it was already announced that it was gonna kind of be there, so I was expecting it.
Yeah.
So that would probably be a little bit of the low light for me, was the stuff that I was, the stuff that got leaked and I expected to see.
Same thing with 16. Same thing with 16, right? Like they were like, "Oh, it's gonna be here." Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I really like a good surprise, and you know, I feel like it takes away from the show, but he still brought it in other areas.
Yes, he did.
So the credit to him, because usually he hypes up a show and he, you know, there's one or two really good announcements and then everything else is just kind of meh. But he really brought it this time. So credit to him. My lowlights, like I said, are the things that are leaked.
Yeah.
So
that's good. That means you really enjoyed the show. For me, it's not the show specifically, but it was, for me, like, where the hell is Wolf Among Us 2? I would like to see that, but that's not Jeff's fault. That's not the show's fault.
Yeah.
At all. But there was some stuff that he's revealed before that I'm like, I was hoping that would be there, kind of like Wolf Among Us 2, some Elden Ring DLC. Again, not the fault for his show. I think the only really low light I could say is maybe some of the pacing was a little off, but I felt like out of all the award shows he did, the pacing was pretty good. It was pretty good here. He paced it pretty well.
To the point where he actually rushed some of the awards. Like he grouped them together. Like, oh, this, and this. Because I was filling out my awards. I was highlighting the ones that won.
Because we did our predictions on everything.
So it kind of fucked me up a little bit, to be quite honest.
Because it was quick. You're right. He was rattling. I mean, they were like boom, 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 boom. They were rattling off. That was probably the only, complaint I could really say. I'm not one of those sticklers or, arguing like who should win what award and stuff like that. I think it's just really, really fun. But it was very interesting. It's what we predicted. God of War, Elden Ring taking a majority of their awards. I think God of War took like 7 out of its 10, and then Elden Ring took 4 out of its 7. That's like a 70% win. Like, that's really good for both those studios. And I really like that both of them, Sony Santa Monica, because after, we're past the point now where the Twitter flames have filed down, but, people were upset, obviously, spoiler, Elden Ring ended up winning Game of the Year. But it was cool to see Sony Santa Monica and Elden Ring both tweet at each other and show each other love. They're like, hey, it was honored being nominated with you with all these awards, and both are excellent games. And that's where I'm always at. It's always fun to me to see, hey, people's reactions, because people really do. It's like their sports team, and I understand that. It's like the Super Bowl. It's like you want your team to win the championship, right?
Yeah.
And you and me being Lions and Jets fans understand that, the pain and suffering. But there's a lot of people that kind of have that same mentality when it goes to these type of award shows, and it's really interesting to me. But to me, I was always more for them, and the credit to the studios for working hard and making great games, because this was a great year for video games, man. To get two powerhouses, and in my personal opinion, God of War and Elden Ring, they were far above everybody else. Like they deserved every award they won. They were the clear-cut two favorites, but it was really interesting, just to see people arguing about it or talking about it, because it's always interesting to see what people really kind of think. For me personally, I don't know about you, I'm just speaking for me, how people view view these games, and it was really cool. But it was cool to see both those studios show a lot of love to each other, and I think that's what it should be. It's about love. It's a celebration about video games and cool ass announcements and fun. Fun for the people that work hard in the industry, because it's not easy to make video games. They cost a lot of money. It takes a lot of time. You're doing 16, 18-hour days. Sometimes to make that rock look really nice in the background that you're never going to pay attention to. Right? So it's really cool. But man, I really enjoyed those two games, and I think those two were like the cut above. But not to shit on anybody else. I'm a big Xenoblade fan. That was awesome to see it nominated for some stuff. Kirby won an award. That was probably a big highlight for me as well. Wasn't expect. I thought Kirby was gonna be forgotten. You know why? Because I kind of forgot about it. So it was just a really fun show. Did you have any beef with any of the winners or anything?
Not really, to be quite honest. I guess for Game of the Year, I wanted Sonic Frontier to win. But,
I knew it was coming.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I didn't have no beef. Two Titans really dominated. Game. Two Titans really dominated the Game Awards, and well, sure. So,
I think
go ahead, Stray was there. Shout out to Stray for just being there.
I think the only gripe I could have had is, no offense to Multiverses or anything, but I really felt like King of Fighters 15 should have won that fighting game award. I really felt like that was like the best fighting game, but it's whatever. Like, Multiverses is a great game in its own right. They're constantly adding new characters. It's a really good Smash clone, and it's more than that. It's not just a Smash. It's more than that, obviously. But it was just a really fun night. I had a really good time with you guys, and let us know what you guys and gals thought of the game. What was your favorite moments, highlights, lowlights? Did your favorite game win Game of the Year, or they were just hanging out there? But I've been your fellow Straussman of the GG, and that's Lou, and we're outie.
See ya.